Hey-o, what's going on?
Hey now.
Hey-o, hey now.
You think people after all these years are going to get sick of you and I doing this?
Steve, that ship sailed years ago.
We still have followers coming on. I don't understand.
I know. Those are the newbies that haven't been
Indoctrinated into our chaos.
Exactly. They got to get all the hey-os, the hey-nows, the wise-ups. They got to get all of that.
The chaos of IoT group.
You got it. And Joe, aren't you happy to be a part of it? Our special guest today,
Mr. I'll let you know in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's right. You only get one take, Joe. So if we screw up, it doesn't really matter.
Right. Well, we have confidence in you, Joe. Joe is the head of global market strategy at Telit Cinterion. And you can visit Telit at telit.com, TELIT.com. And you can also visit bhiotgroup.com up there above Joe. And connect with Steve and John Hubler to talk about IoT and deployments in the space. If you are looking to connect with other companies that are doing things in IoT, this is your crew to do it with. And we thank you for joining us. We're going to talk to Joe a little bit today about Telit Cinterion. And this is part of a 4-part series with some of the leadership from Telit Cinterion, which is a global company with a presence on all the continents. And so, so having said that, let's get into it. Steve, you and Joe, take it away.
Excellent. Thanks, Doug. Joe, it's great to see you and catch up. So as Doug said, we have a 4-part series with you guys around IoT in the IoT Nugget land, but some people might not have gotten to the first one. So give us an elevator pitch on the company.
Okay, very good. Telit Cinterion is now the fusion of basically two of just a few pillars of what became the global IoT industry. We both started about the same time, some over 20 years ago, and came together as you've seen in the media at the beginning of the year, and basically bring in the whole concept of networking the edge of information technology to systems and improving lives and businesses and outcomes.
Well, I know that one of the things that I wanted to talk to you specifically about has been some of the M&A activity that you guys you've been on a tear for the last couple of years, and it's great because you've taken on, you've acquired several of our friends in the industry, and many of us in the industry understand why you did it, but let's tell everybody else. So give us a little background on some of the recent acquisitions and why. How does it make your organization better for customers?
Very good. So I think the two most recent have been, of course, the Cinterion group, the IoT group from Thales, the French conglomerate. That started. It was announced in July last year and concluded in January this year, and then. Right after that, in August, we announced the acquisition of Mobilogix, a California-based solutions in IoT solutions company that we integrated completely within a few months of that. So the why? That's a good question. What we see with IoT is, as with any enabling technology, there's a first wave of brave folks that will embrace it and that will struggle to and deal with all the side effects and of of using it. So in this case, for example, when IoT was young, and some 20 odd years ago, it made an awful lot of sense for the large areas, the large verticals like utilities, like telematics, to go ahead and swallow the bitter pill of all the learning something so new and embracing it, and but by far that was not and continues to be just a small fraction of the potential that IoT has. So recently, about a few years, maybe 5 years ago, you started hearing the phrase or the label of digital transformation, right? So as you know, IoT connects things at the edge of of the IT network and businesses and what have you, and this transforms the way the businesses operate, and that started some years ago. Again, largely driven by the big adopters, the traditional adopters, and now what we're seeing is since a couple of years ago, and we've been keeping a very close eye on it, is the emergence of what some are even calling the digital transformation 2.0, which it's kind of like a democratization of digital transformation. So now it's not only the large the mega utility companies or telematics providers that are they continue to be obviously very active in it, but everybody else wants in, right? And that's what we are transforming Telit, until it became Telit Cinterion. Basically, even the rebranding had the purpose of presenting the company as something completely reformed and transformed. Going leaving our tradition of ingredient provision to the IoT industry to become the partner that folks actually need. So when you couple the facts that this enabling technology high curve and with the complexities of cellular, which is a technology that never stops. I mean, it's never the same from one year to the next. It's just far too much for folks to stomach. I mean, like I said, only the very large, robust companies have been able to deal with it. But for every one of those that are our customers, there are dozens of others that do not have the wherewithal or the ability to deal with it, or flat out don't want to. So that's number one. Number two, the other dynamic that we are reacting to and adjusting Telit Cinterion to with these acquisitions is even the our large traditional customers have changed in a way, and they are becoming more nimble, and they want to react faster to their own markets. But traditionally they haven't been able to. If you look at the way they operate, the budget cycles and everything else, they can't. For example, they see a portfolio gap, and they just simply can't. With their own mechanics, their own internal dynamics for budgeting, for development, etc. They can't find a path to go plug that gap quickly and within market timing. This approach to solution partnership that we become to them actually does that for them. So on the one side, they will continue to source ingredients from us, but alternatively, they will also do things from us, complete solutions they bring to market, react nimbly to an opportunity, get to market fast. So it's helping not only the newcomers, but also our traditional large.
Awesome. Excellent.
So that's what it's about.
Yep, it is. Well, that's the strategy piece. Trying to
Yes, that is a strategy piece.
Yeah, that's it's great. All right. Well, thank you, Joe, so much for being a part of IoT Nuggets in this segment and giving us an idea as to what you've done, why you did it, and where you're headed. So I appreciate your time. This is a great segment of learning more things about the organization and where you're headed. So, Doug, back to you.
Well, thank you, Steve, and thank you, Joe. And I echo those sentiments. I thought this was a great segment, and it's kind of cool to hear. You know, we talk to a lot of companies in the IoT space that talk about their niche in the space and their solutions, but to hear it from you, really about the overall landscape of the entire space, you folks are really positioned to have your kind of finger on the pulse of really everything that's going on and how it's changing and how you're impacting it. So that was really cool to hear. And thank you everybody who have tuned in to this episode of IoT Nuggets. There, like we said, there are 4 of them with Telit Cinterion. So make sure that you take a look at all 4 of them with different leaders from the company, and go to bhiotgroup.com to connect with John and Steve. Go to telit.com. TEL, there it is. Steve's pointing it out as the illustrious Steve Brown.
Oh gosh, yes.
The illustrious Steve Brown. And telit.com is telit.com. You can find out more about Telit Cinterion, and we will see you all next time on the next episode of IoT Nuggets.
Yay!
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Everybody.